Guess what? If you take everything personal, then you definitely need to listen to this message. Because when you take everything that happens, everything that's said, everything that's going on, you take it personal, you will self-abandon, you will self-sabotage, your stress is always going to be through the roof, you're going to be emotionally dysregulated, you're going to be easily manipulated as well. How do I know this? Because I was that guy. I used to take things so stinking personal. Where does that come from? It's insecurity, right? It's an insecurity thing, and it's also a codependent thing because you have the pressure on your shoulders that it's your job to make sure other people are happy. And when they're not happy, guess what? It's your fault. Yes, you. It's all your fault that someone else is not happy. That's people pleasing. And yet, to break free from that will truly, truly, truly set you free. And how do you break free from being a people pleaser? Well, you got to start building self-confidence. Well, how do you build self-confidence? You got to start meaning what you say and saying what you mean. And ultimately, I think one of the best ways to build self-confidence is to figure out who you truly are, your true and authentic self, which is through the self-discovery process. When you really connect and shed the masks, we've been talking a lot about masks, shed the masks, shed all the false personas, shed all the exterior things that you're trying to project into this world. A perfect image is, someone that's a hardcore fanatic. I used to be that, right? Always wearing the team jerseys and representing the team. And, it's like everywhere you go, you got to be representing this team for life. And it's like, that's a false persona, right? You're pretending. It's a character that you're pretending to be because it's really not your team. You're just a fan. It's a cheerleader role, right? You're saying, you know what? I'm not good enough to be in that position. So second best is me being a cheerleader for the professionals. And I'm definitely saying that in a way that's like, it's meant to be a little bit sarcastic, but really pull back and realize that there's truth in that. And yet, even when you hear that, if that upsets you, because you are a big super fan of something, well, guess what? That means that you're taking everything personal. And it's never personal. You ever been rejected? You ever been heartbroken? It's not personal. It's not about you. It's about the other person. You're a part of that, but for you to take it personal as if the mindset is there something wrong with you? The reason why someone has moved on and can no longer tell you the sweet things and do the sweet things and let you do the sweet things is because it stopped working. It was out of alignment. And every single person has gone through this, especially in terms of relationships. And it's painful. But the thing is can you get to a place where you don't take it personal? It's not about it being personal. What it's about is it's an opportunity for you to grow, for you to learn more about yourself. And this is actually embedded in the 1% Better Everyday Journal. And it's actually part of how I came up with one of the main daily worksheets from the journal. Is anytime that I've ever had a separation or a falling out, could be in a relationship, could be at a workplace. I've been fired a few times in my life. And yet, when something comes to an end, comment down below if you are somebody that takes time to reflect, to learn, to better understand the lessons, so that when you do move into the next thing, it's not fast without really any reflection, because in reflection comes the opportunity for you to grow, for you to understand. And here's the lesson. This is in the 1% Better Everyday Journal in the daily worksheets. So what I do is anytime there's a falling out, I write 2 lists, drop a line down the paper. On the left side, I said, what are the things that I did that were good? You know, give yourself some ego strokes. Awesome, man. You did awesome. You were supportive. You were loving. You were kind, right? You were thoughtful. You planned romantic dates. If we're talking about a relationship, if it was in a workplace, you know, were you someone that showed up on time? Were you someone that was a team player? Whatever it is, like, you need to evaluate the positive things that you brought to the table, especially on the tail end of some kind of a fallout. Because by default, what do most of us want to do? We want to beat ourselves up. We need to stop that. You got to stop that. You need to be your best friend. You need to be someone that is advocating for you, that's willing to fight for you. And that doesn't mean you got to lie to yourself. It just means that when a situation comes to an end, chalk up the good things, and on the other side, what can you do better? And this is a plug for the 1% Better Everyday Journal, because it's such a powerful, there's no journals like this. It's fun. It's super interactive. It will develop personal accountability if you're willing to lock in. 91 days, volume 1, right? 91 days, volume 2, 91 days at a time. Just lock in and create that pattern and that habit, but every day. There's 3 things that you need to reflect on that you did good. It's actually 4 things. 4 things that you did good every day from yesterday. So every morning you wake up, you say, what are 4 things you did that were good yesterday? What are 4 things you could do better? Do you know how that starts to shift your mindset? When you just start thinking in terms of, yes, you're doing good things, and yes, you can improve some other things. That's growth mindset. That's being open versus acting as if you got it all figured out, or acting as if you're a victim, or better yet, you take it personal when people decide that they don't want to hang out with you or they don't want to be your best friend. Where does that come from? That's from like little kid shit. And it's sad. My heart goes out to you, because that's the work that I help people to heal, is the childhood trauma, because that's really at the origin of it. Most of us are just oversized children in an adult body, but with the maturity of probably a 5 to 10-year-old. That's facts. You hear what I said? The emotional maturity. We're talking about emotional maturity here. And guess what? That's what gets you in trouble. That's what's holding you back, is because you haven't taken the time to deepen the roots of your emotions by healing and being centered on yourself. This was the biggest lesson that came out of two breakups in my life. The first one was the 21-year marriage expiring, and the second was my first long-term relationship post 21-year marriage expiring. And that one was a heartbreaker. But I chose to look back and I defined it as transformational, because I said, okay, for the first time in my adult life, I'm going to do what I actually just did 30 minutes ago. And that was I'm going to learn how to sit in my discomfort. I'm going to sit in it. I'm going to really sit in it, and I'm going to figure out what is really going on. I'm going to just be present with that pain, and I'm going to soothe myself, and I'm going to figure out how to connect with myself at a deep enough level that I don't have to feel like my emotions and my discomfort are what are running the show anymore. And that is like probably one of the most powerful things that someone could learn how to do. But it doesn't even take learning. It just has the courage, because I guarantee you, if you're hearing this message, you're a human. Duh. But I guarantee you that you have a lot of emotional discomforts. Some of you may feel this stuff every single day. Some of you, it's a few times a week. Some of you, it's a few times a month. Some of you, it's continuously, because you are in such a deep state of grief and an emotional suffering that literally your baseline is literally suffering, that you never feel good. And I have people reaching out to me, and it's like, I'm giving up, man. I don't understand this. I can't figure this out. I never feel good. If you're there, man, you got to realize two things. There is a way through it. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to do to face that shit, to sit in it? And far too many times, what most of us do is we avoid. We've trained ourselves to self-medicate, right? To self-medicate. You know, I was a master at it. I learned that really early, man. Probably 12 years old is when I started drinking and learning how the self-medication took me emotionally, mentally, physically, just to a whole nother realm. It was a great escape, but it only lasted for so long. And most times, man, I mean, I woke up feeling terrible. You know, the hangovers, the headaches, the being all sick. Heck no. And yet, I can sit here and I can say I'm really proud of myself, because I don't even understand every time as to why. Why does my mood shift some days? I can start the day and I'm having an incredible day and I'm feeling really upbeat and positive, feeling good. And then, you know, I'm just sitting there throughout the day. I'm a very present man. I'm very present with my body, right? If I'm standing here right now, like, there's like hardly any aches and pains. There's hardly any discomfort, right? My body is really, really at peace. It's really strong. It really feels healthy. And yet, it's just sometimes that there's a shift. And today I had one of those shifts, and I was feeling just a little overwhelmed. And clearly, I'm grateful that I don't go to, you know, any kind of hardcore vices that are going to really mess me up. But here's the thing, is I was able to just get home, and I spent a little time outside just kind of clearing my mind. And then I went down and I laid down in my bed for a little while, about 30 minutes. And I just sat in it. And, you know, while sitting in it, I was washing my mind. It was in silence. Sometimes I'll play some positive stuff that's really nurturing and healthy, even just frequencies, right? 528's a beautiful one, 963 frequency. But I just felt like just sitting in it. And I did, and I just sat in it, and I soothed myself, and I said, you know, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Right now. Feeling a little unloved. And I said, you know what? I want to release that. I was just meditating with my higher self, saying, you know, it's time to release that. There's no reason to be feeling that right now, right? This is just a part of releasing and letting go of the old patterns, right? The old beliefs. And it went away. That is literally the essence of healing. The reason why when you sit in your feelings, you name it, you name what you're feeling. You can do a little breath work, but you just sit in there and you self-soothe and you just say, you know, it's okay to feel this way. Let's feel this way right now. We know that this is not how we're defining ourselves. I'm not going to define myself by being overwhelmed, but it just wanted to be seen and be heard, and it's cool, great. And here's the beautiful thing, is that's in the real time. A shift in my mood, sitting there, naming it, giving myself some time and space to just sit in it and process it. So that without running to something, to say, you know, I don't feel good about myself here. I better go eat this or do that, or, you know, and sometimes that's I can still struggle with that, right? Getting a craving for some food that probably is not the healthiest for me. And I know that I do that still from time to time. But I know the more that I can just continue to just sit there with it. Now, here's what can be overwhelming, depending on where you're at along your spiritual healing journey, is the thing that can be very overwhelming is, in order to get to where I'm at right now, which is very fluid, right? Something shifted in me, I dealt with it. What most people hearing this message, what you need to do is what I've been talking about, is you have to go in the time machine and go and deal with what I would consider like your internal, it's a reservoir. It's a pantry within you. It's the closet that's full of either bags of every single time that you emotionally suppressed, emotionally shut down, and didn't process. And so you have to think about it. The way that you heal your emotions is to process your emotions. If you have a backlog of emotional wounds for 40 years, 30 years, 50 years, 60 years, because you've never known to do this, you've just always said, I'm going to just control my anger, I'm going to just keep doing these negative patterns and habits that I've been doing, well then guess I'm here to tell you that that is the work. And for you, that can sound overwhelming. That could be like, what? Every time I've suppressed emotions, I got to go all the way back there? Yes. However, there is a bit of a hack. And I don't want to use that word hack, but there is a way for you to expedite processing. And it's going to the root, which is something else I talk about. The deeper, meaning the farther back that you can go to when you first started to feel this way, when you first started to use that coping mechanism to avoid processing, to avoid feeling your emotions, which this is the trauma. This is the things that most of us have experienced. Because in most families, right, emotional safety wasn't really a thing. It's kind of a new thing. So for most people, it's like you got to suppress your emotions. I got all these little puppies. They just came to say hi to me. Look at the puppies. They're so cute. There's a lot of homeless puppies up here. If anybody wants some puppies, come let me know. But the reason most families, right? I mean, you know this, that this is why we have emotional trauma, is because it wasn't safe to feel our feelings. We had to suppress them. We had to hide our feelings. And if we ever showed them, it's like, if you were anything like me, it's like, I got beat up. I used to get beat up for like showing some emotions. Come here, I'm gonna fucking beat your ass. You want to cry? I'll give you a reason to cry, motherfucker. It's like, God dang, man, this is traumatic. But that's the game. This is if there was a cheat code, this is what it takes, right? But what I continue to express to you guys. So what I continue to express to you is the fact that you got to put in the work. And again, The reason why this feels challenging is because it's going to require all of you. It's going to require you to have a clear mind, sobriety, so that you can be fully aware of what's going on, what's happened in your life. You need to see this with clear eyes, knowing that in the past, your habit has probably been to drown in not having to see it, avoiding having to realize and face the things. And it's like, if you truly want to get to the other side, it's as easy as getting rid of your distractions. Unfortunately, being distracted it's like breathing air nowadays. It's so easy to be distracted about everything because we don't want to feel our feelings. It's just, if it seems so uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable, right? To feel the feelings, to just sit there and feel the feelings. I'm telling you, if you could just do that. And it takes what? Getting out of your head, clearing your head. If you're an overthinker, the way to get out of your head is to get into your body. Well, how do you get into your body? Breath work. Meditation doesn't even do that. You need to realize breath work is different than meditation. A lot of people, myself included, I kind of struggled with meditation. I'd either fall asleep in meditation. I'd be like trying to do I listened to a guided meditation, and I'd pass out. Because when I get really relaxed, and then the other thing is my mind would just be kind of bouncing all over the place. The beautiful thing, and the reason why I'm so in love with breath work, especially the breath of life that I'm teaching people, is because it's like everything. It's meditative, it's a visualization, it's a healing practice, right? And it gets you out of your thinking mind. And that's a huge thing. I know that there are just so many overthinkers in this day and age. It's so easy to be an overthinker. There's so much stuff coming at us. And yet the breath work is what gets you out of your mind. And it's an active thing. So you're not going to pass out. And your mind wants to fight you, but it's going to lose that battle. As long as you configure your rhythm and your harmony and doing the breath, so powerful. So the final thing here is to say, there is a way to get to the other side, to actually heal. And yes, it depends on how committed, dedicated, invested you are in wanting to get the results. But it's not a mystery anymore. And I would highly encourage you to consider joining me in healing by signing up for the Breath of Life Healing Circle online group that is convening on May 4th. We're going to do 3 weekends every month. Well, actually, you get a bonus one in the month of June. But again, you don't have to be there live in the session. You can watch it at any time. However, I do highly encourage that you create that sacred container, that space in your weekly schedule, Sundays, 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, to join me in healing, in actively healing yourself. And what the kind of healing I'm talking about is the emotional kind of healing, because it doesn't happen naturally. It's not like a cut. It's not like an illness that if you just kind of sleep it off and let the time go by, wow, my cut's healed. Oh, wow, I'm not sick no more. Emotions, it's with you forever. It's stuck inside your body. It's wounds that you have created inside your body. That's what trauma is. It's an internal wound. And they do not heal. You've learned how to manage life with all that. And if you're at a point in your life where you're ready to try to figure this out for yourself, I'm here for you. And I definitely come with resources to help you actually have a plan. 1% Better Everyday Journal, Breath of Life, Healing Circle, Results Kill Excuses app. And if you want to take it to the highest extent, one-on-one private coaching to really have that accountability piece. And that's what some of you need. However, are you wanting it that bad? Because all my talk, I can't do the work for you. I had to do the work for me. I continue to have to do the work for me. I'm still wrapped in my humanity. Today, I felt overwhelmed. And I'm just grateful that I could come home after an overwhelmed day. And if I played the tape back 20 years ago, 15 years ago, a day like today, I would have came back. I would have stopped at a store. I would have probably got a 6-pack of really potent beer, probably like an IPA, high alcohol content. And I would have probably got home. I would have probably smoked some weed. I would have drank the fucking 6-pack. I would have sat there and I would have done shit. And I would have woke up the next day and fucking went and done it again. That was the wounded version of me. That's all I knew. But now, right, I'm out here, beautiful, man. Beautiful sunset walk. It's so peaceful, fresh air. It's calm. I'm at peace with myself. I'm content with myself. I'm proud of myself that I've shifted who I am that much that I can come home feeling overwhelmed, sit there, give myself 30 minutes to just sit in it. I even passed out for maybe 10, 15 minutes of that. And I woke up and I said, all right, let's go. And now I'm making the vid. Right now I said, you know what? I feel clear-minded. Let's share this knowledge. Let's get this message out there because I truly do believe that I have a calling to serve you, to connect with you. My soul and your soul have made an agreement to work together. By working together, that doesn't mean me talking and you just listening. That means I'm doing my shit, you're doing yours, and we're connecting here to make sure that we're actually holding ourselves accountable. Well, what work are you going to do? You're going to do it all on your own? Good luck with that, right? That was the path that I had because there wasn't this type of content creators, people that have actually gone through the fires of life that I could relate with. But if you're relating with my message, guess what? You should trust and at least verify that the things that I have are worth your time, your energy, and certainly your money to invest in. You should at least test it. If when you test it, you're like, oh man, this was bullshit, well, I'm going to have a lot of explaining to do. But clearly, I've been doing this and people are engaging in this, and I'm not explaining myself saying, you know, I got excuses. No, right? No. I absolutely know 100% that if you take the leap of faith, I guarantee you, you are going to go through growth, expansion, healing, transformation. And the beautiful thing is you no longer have to do it by yourself. You no longer have to do it all alone. We get to do this together. That's the most incredible part of this. So be a part, join me, walk with me, walk out your life, find the courage, get out of your thinking mind, get into your body, and take that leap of faith. There's 2 links in the description down below. One for signing up for the Breath of Life Healing Circle, right? You can also just check out the information. There's a few videos in there for you to check out, see if it's something that's resonating with you, if it's something that you're curious about. You don't have to know what to do, just sign up and show up. And secondly, it's the 1% Better Everyday Journal, Volume 1. 91 days locking in, learning about self-sabotage to self-mastery on top of just fun, interactive self-accountability worksheets where you can do some daily reflections to start building your self-confidence, which is what brings this whole message back around, right? When you take everything personal, you lack authority over who you truly are because you are a people pleaser, right? And you're afraid that if someone is upset, it's your fault. And guess what? You're afraid that they're going to leave you because you're afraid to be alone. And the thing is, there's a lot of people out there. I'm one of them, right? I had codependency issues. I'm still sifting through those codependency issues. But I can tell you that the times that I spent alone, and it doesn't mean that you just abandon everyone in your life. Finding healthy communication to know that you do need some time alone, though. It could be in the evening, it could be in the morning, early morning before everyone wakes up, right? If you were to start waking up and creating a morning routine, right? If everyone starts moving around at 6 o'clock, maybe you need to be a 5 o'clocker. Get an hour jump. If everybody starts moving around at 7, you maybe need to start getting up at 6. And having 1 hour to yourself with yourself and spirit to be able to really go deeper along this life experience. Start figuring some things out about yourself. That's what it takes. It's not about just abandoning your whole family and all your existence and just feeling like you're a deadbeat. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with understanding what do you need. If you do need some time, to be able to communicate that to people you love, to say, hey, you know what? This weekend, I need to take some time to myself. And reassure those people that you're not doing it with ill intentions, because if there's insecurity in you, there's probably insecurity in other people. But the beautiful thing is if you can learn to communicate these things and reassure the people that depend on you, then hopefully you can create space with clear communication that this is for the betterment of you and your relationship with the others. Because everything you heal in you, right, you can help others if they're open to it. That's just my point of view on this. I hope you'll take me up on some of these offers, right? The time is now. The time is now. Some of you probably wish, well, I don't ever want it to be the time. It's like, then fine, just carry on. Carry on. No stress. Just do your thing, right? But if you're somebody that's been hearing the message, and you're just overthinking it, right? Let me know. Comment down below, what would it take? What reassurance do you need to take me up on a 1% Better Everyday Journal or joining the Breath of Life Healing Circle? What am I not saying that would change your position to being a thumbs up, all in, let's go? You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it won't be worth it. Greg's out.